By now you've heard me mention some principles in my book, Wealth is a Choice. I'd like to give you some of the philosophy behind the book and how those principles can be used to help close the wealth gap. I'm James Studinger, author of Wealth is a Choice. I do believe that wealth is a choice and that people get wealthier by buying things that make them more money. I remember being 19 or 20 years old and believing that in order to be wealthy, you had to have a huge income. Robin Leach taught us that with Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. And the movie Pretty Women came out. It basically explained that some people are wealthy and some people aren't. Years later, when I worked at a financial planning firm, I learned the power of saving money, especially at a young age. Still, it would take me to the dot-com crash in the 2000s to realize the simplicity and massive availability of what it takes to actually create wealth. It all comes down to what we choose to buy. Throughout the 2000s, it was obvious that people had a real misguided understanding of what it took to be wealthy and what to do with their income. So I wrote Wealth is a Choice. It was published in 2008, just before the breakdown of the financial crisis. A tad too late for all the people that were overburdened in debt, but the principles of Wealth is a Choice stand the test of time and became a great roadmap for people to dig out of that hole and start to create real wealth. The core message of Wealth is a Choice is a liberating fact that creating wealth is available for everybody. It all comes down to what you buy with your earned income. I categorize everything into two camps, good assets and bad assets. Good assets are things you buy that you intend to convert into income, and bad assets are everything else. They depreciate in value and or cost money to maintain. Robin Leach's message was teaching us the wrong thing. He was showing us that people spent their wealth on lavish boats and cars and homes and vacations. But what wasn't being shown is that they were spending not necessarily their income, more than likely they were spending assets that they or somebody else bought a long time ago and is now appreciated in value. Back when that show aired in the 80s and 90s, most people didn't invest their money. Back then, people thought they would live on a pension and Social Security when they retired, maybe not have any debt, and a little bit of extra money in the bank. You could only invest $2,000 a year into an IRA, and a non-working spouse could only put in $500. It would take years before most companies offered a retirement plan such as 401k. The average person just wasn't exposed to investing and purchased things they knew and enjoyed, bad assets. We grew up believing we bought our toys with money we earned from a job and not wealth that was created from the earned income from that job. The more bad assets people bought, the more dependent they became on their income. Today, 2023, people can invest up to $22,500 into a 401k and $30,000 if they're 50 years or older. On top of that, you could put away $6,500 and up to $7,500 if over the age of 50 into an IRA. And so can a non-working spouse. And the best thing about all those savings is that they can go into a Roth. And that's another topic for another video. Our income isn't first and foremost there to pay our bills, but rather it's our platform to become wealthy. Along the way, we have some necessary bills to pay. But if we do it right, eventually our wealth will create more income than our job and we'll transition into a different stage of life, one of financial independence and maybe retirement. I called the book Wealth is a Choice because I believe that the formula is available for everybody. And therefore, whether we achieve some level of wealth is really up to us. It's not based on an uncontrollable situation like where we're born, our gender, our race, or who our family is. The biggest factor in the equation is time. And therefore, the more time you have, the earlier you get started, the easier it is for you to become wealthy. My kids will probably be wealthier than me. And it's not because they're going to inherit a lot of money. Sure, they'll probably get something, but it's because they got started at a very young age. They started early because they were educated early. The biggest, most sustainable way to help close the wealth gap is through educating on the simple principles of money, mainly on the fact that you get rich by buying things that make you more money, and you get poor by buying things that depreciate in value or cost money to maintain. That simple formula is available to everybody. Managing your money should be a fun and liberating experience. As always, if you have questions or want to discuss more of your unique situation, feel free to give us a call or visit our website. I hope you found this video helpful. Please share it with others so they can learn the simple principles of accumulating wealth.
Ta-da!